Alright, so welcome to essentially my very first kind of like true content video, where essentially I go through a map and I just ramble about random stuff that's popping into my mind at the moment. So in this video, I have this really awesome map that I've been like I think over a year ago by now, and I kind of want to revisit it. So this map is Clockwork by Fonda1515. So I remember this map being super fun, and I'm honestly super excited to jump into this and essentially just do a little revisit of it. Uh, I guess no better time to hop into now. I've been yapping for far too long already. So for those of you who don't know, I actually have quite a bit of history with this app. Whoops, I'll go back to reread this time. Alright, when using these watchtowers, you're able to remotely activate switch gates in the room. If you press your climb button, a switch gate will activate while you're looking through the watchtower. If you leave this area and come back, all switch gates you activated will be back in their original positions. Note, switch gates will be activated chronologically based on when they would actually be activated in the room. So yeah, I hop into here after I can press my my climb button after you can see these switch gates moving. Yeah. So and oh yeah, and when I touch this like white area, the whole room gets reset. So for those of you who don't know, I actually have quite a bit of history in this with this map. So like I think this is like I honestly think this is the very first piece of Celeste content, like content that I uploaded. I might be wrong about that, honestly. So, whoops. Okay, yeah, that's nice. So the whole gimmick of this map is just having like you're essentially in a giant clock tower, and you have and as you're traversing it, you have these like mechanical parts moving throughout that are either trying to like both help you or kill you. So, for example, I have this thing here. I could do an ultra after, well, if I could do it. A bunch of like string cancel, that kind of thing. I think like when I initially completed this map, I was only in like intermediate or something. So this was, I think, I learned like tech like ultras and the aforementioned string cancels from this map actually. So to say that this map is like essentially it was pretty much essential for my development as a player is sorely understated. And yeah, you could see already this map. I love this map. Like there's like so many moving parts, and it's honestly super satisfying to like sight read it. So I feel like I'm not gonna look at the binos too much, even though I haven't played this map in a hot minute. Yeah, so that's the first room done already. Yeah. So I feel like I'm just gonna sight read it and see how that goes for me. I think one thing I forgot to talk about actually is like how awesome this music is. It's like I think like the very first time I saw this map, I was on like a road trip with my parents, and like I had only recently found out what Strawberry Jam was to begin with. So seeing like these big ass blocks moving all around, and like Madeline going like faster than I've ever seen her going before was actually like so awesome. And I can't thank Fonda enough for making this. I think this map also inspired me a lot in terms of my mapping journey, because something that Fonda does a lot, if I could get to it, is like, whoops, that's not how you do a bunny hop. But like Fonda, essentially, he does like a whole lot of like repeated movements, which it almost acts like a kind of like motif in terms of like music, for example. Like you have like a whole sequence of like repeated moves that you have to do after because of that like whole repetition. Yeah, like for example here, do you have like the repeated bird cancel essentially? Yeah, like you had the bird cancels essentially from back in that room, and in my own mods or mod I guess, I've done like what's it called? I've tried incorporating similar similar obstacles that force you to make repeated movements. So yeah, for example, you can see here again you have like these repeated neutral jumps. Whoops. And I think that's a really cool way to make gameplay. I think it's really satisfying for me at least, and I'm sure it's really satisfying for a lot of you guys as well. Huh. Whoops. Oh, okay. Do I get that? Oh, thank you. You're too kind. Whoops. Yeah, that's I do talk about this in like a older video that I made. That's talking about my own mod and how and how I got my where I learned like mapping and that kind of thing, like what I learned from mapping at least. Whoops. So if you want to check that out, it's somewhere on my YouTube channel. I'll try to link it in the description or something. You guys should also play my mod too, like low-key. I'm not trying to plug. I'm not trying to like be like sound pretentious or something, but I am proud of it, even though it's been like quite a long time since I made it by now. Like I think 6 months ish, but it's still super. I'm still super proud of it, and for being my my first ever mod, I'm honestly super happy with how it turned out. I should talk about this more although. Yeah. I think like one of the reasons why I want to make like these kinds of videos is because like in the past I've never really been like a very talkative person. I don't think. Like I won't try to start conversations with other people. Like I'm unprompted. It's always someone who It's pretty much always someone who starts like conversation first. After even still, they're pretty much they're usually the ones that are keeping the conversation alive. And I'm just like kind of there being a listener. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like it's very beneficial for me to like learn to talk and can keep talking. Like especially as I grow up and do things in my life outside of video games. I nearly beat the room there. So I apologize if there's like there's instances where I'm like silent or something. And if that happens, I'll probably try to edit it out. But if not, then I'm sorry about that. And the same goes with things for like stuttering, although that might be a little bit harder to edit out. Because I'm still not like the most familiar with like editing software and recording for that matter. Like what I'm using currently is just like my built-in like Microsoft Clipchamp, I think it's called. Like I don't have OBS set up or something like that. Which honestly I should do, because sometimes like when I'm calling my friends, they see like the most out of pocket shit, and it's it's something that I want to have immortalized on a video. And unfortunately, Microsoft Clipchamp doesn't seem to capture audio from Discord. I might be wrong, of course, but from my experience at least, when I'm playing a video game or doing whatever, it pretty much only captures the audio from the game itself. So, like, I would maybe someone's like, oh, whoops, maybe someone's more informed about that topic. than I, which is most likely the case. So if you do know about like Clipchamp or OBS or recording in general, let me know in the comments or something like that. So I guess like in terms of things that have like happened to me in real life, I guess. So I actually recently graduated from high school, which is very exciting. So I'm going to be heading to the University of Toronto in the fall, which is also equally exciting. I'm actually studying chemical engineering there, which when I was initially like throughout high school, I've taken a really like big interest into chemistry, but then I figured like I want to be actually like use my chemistry like knowledge in like a practical setting, because I'm not trying to hate on like chemistry or students or something, but I feel like a lot of it is kind of just sitting in a lab while you're waiting for the reaction to like go by itself, and after you're not really doing anything on the side though. But like engineering on the other hand, there's pretty much always something you have to do. Like there's not really like much of like a passiveness in engineering, I feel. I also feel like it's just going to be like a little bit more exciting anyways to talk to people who are like maybe more interested in like things like math or physics than me. I think math and physics are super cool subjects. I like math a little bit more actually, but still, yeah, I feel like it'll be really fun to talk to people from those I guess branches of engineering as well. And then I think as for it is a little bit scary to what's it called, like move out on my own and that kind of thing, because like the longest I've been like by myself for was like just a little bit like over a week, I think. So this is going to be like a pretty big stepping stone for me, at least. But at least I know other people who are going to U of T as well, so that's fun at least. It is also going to be like really sad to like say goodbye to my friends and who are staying like where I live in British Columbia and that kind of thing. But either way, I think I still think it's going to be like really fun. And I could always just meet up with them or call them or FaceTime them or whatever. Yeah, I think as I should probably talk about like the actual grad ceremony itself and how that went, because like I'm talking about like school and that kind of thing. So I think as for like the actual grad ceremony itself, I think that was like honestly it was a lot shorter than I expected. Like I remember when I went to my brother's graduation ceremony. Whoops. Yeah, I wasn't gonna live there. Yeah, so when I was going to my brother's graduation ceremony, I don't know if it was just because I was just in the audience and I had nothing to do, but that shit felt like my ceremony felt much shorter than his, like by at least like 2 hours or something. Like I exited from like the theater or whatever where the ceremony was happening when I was at my brother's ceremony, and I think I swear the sky outside was like dark or something. But then when I was finished mine, it was like it was fairly bright outside, so I was pleasantly surprised about that. I guess aside from that, I was fairly standard kind of thing. But like this is also kind of going like a random tangent, but like during the ceremony, there were people like posting like I don't want to say posting, but like essentially like self-advertising their social media accounts when I guess like the vice principal or the supervising teachers were like reading out people's names and like thank you comments. But like some people put like their Instagram like ats and whatever. And I don't know. There's nothing like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But it's just I don't know. It just comes off as a little bit tacky to me. It's like no one's following you from that, bro. It's like you expect people to pull out their phones in the middle of this, in the middle of the ceremony, to just hop on Instagram after just follow you. Like no one's doing that. I don't think anyone's actually paying attention to that. So that's a little bit like a spiel about things that happened at my ceremony. And then I also I should probably talk about prom as well, since that was like a little bit before my my ceremony. So on the day of the prom, there's actually two events. So there's the prom itself, which goes from like I believe it was like from yeah. So no, sorry. It was the prom. There's like prom was actually separated into like 3 events, or like 2 to 3 events. So firstly, there was something called the red carpet walk. So it's essentially like you and a group of friends. Normally like in past years they would just go outside onto like a red carpet that's been laid out previously, like before all the grads came. Except and like normally what would happen is like all the grads would just go in a group, or like you and a few of your friends would just go into a group, and then what's it called? You would essentially go on like a little loop outside, and essentially walk a little like course that's been set up for you outside. Now, the day of my prom, it was like super rainy. It's like the kind of rain that forms like for example, if like a drain is blocked or something, it's gonna form like a little like lake or pot or that kind of thing. Oh, I just did a back waist. I've been too used to those recently. But yeah, it was like crazy. So they had to move the I believe the staff had to like move in the carpet from inside, and essentially had to quickly clear out like the furniture and things and other kind of things that are in the hallway of the school. But either way that was fun though. But it was a little bit crowded though, because obviously we're stuck inside, right? Okay, I could totally back boost there. What am I doing? I kind of want to show off, to be honest. Whoops. Okay. Yeah. So first of all, there's the red carpet walk, which was kind of disturbed by the rain. But yeah, either way, it was still fun, and I gotta say hello to like some of my teachers again, and take a lot of like fun photos. I forgot to do the what's it called, the back boost. But yeah, so we essentially just stayed there for like, I believe it was like a few like an hour and a half to 2 hours, I think. And after we got on buses and went to the actual venue. So I think the venue itself, it was like located somewhere. I think it was located somewhere different from last year's grads, because what's it called? I think like some people were commenting, it was in the middle of like buttfuck nowhere. Excuse me. Yes, and it was also like kind of it looks smaller from the outside, but in reality, like it was honestly pretty big inside. So I was plenty happy with that, in that regard, in terms of like the size of the venue at least. But essentially when we got inside, we were given like we were like assigned tables and whatever. So I go to find mine, and it turns out my table is at the essentially the front of the like the front of the stage essentially. So there's essentially how it's laid out. It's like you have like this kind of square in the middle that's meant for it like dancing and that kind of thing, and then on the sides, so it kind of forms like a big U shape. So in the middle, okay, so in the middle of the U is the ballroom kind of area, and then on like where the U actually is where the oh, I got the berry, by the way, is where like we would be seated, or we will be seated. And after if I still use like the U example, I would still be like my table will be at like the very top of the U. So in other words, it's very close to the speakers that were playing like super heavy bass boosted music, and it wasn't pleasant, to say the least. So that kind of ruined my night, if I'm being completely honest. But either way, I kind of got used to it by the end, because like after we got food and that kind of thing, we went dancing or whatever. So obviously like they're not gonna tune down the music that so many people are dancing to. But I feel like they could have at least turned it down like a few like decibels or whatever. And honestly, I've been recording for like half an hour now, or 22 minutes from what my timer says. So I'll hang it up here for now, and I'll come back in a little bit later. All right, I am back in Clockwork. Whoops. So I just took a little bit of a break to like essentially take a walk and essentially like have a little bit of a relaxation break. So I remember I was talking about like stuff that happened at my prom. So I believe I talked about like, oh yes, I remember. So I was talking about like the sound and that kind of thing, right? So I remember during the like before like we started dancing and that kind of thing, like we essentially had time to hang out and like take photos and that kind of thing. So I remember we found our tables. We found out to a little bit of our dismay that our table is seated essentially right next to the speakers, and then after we were essentially throughout the whole night, we were essentially ear raped, for a lack of a better word. And that's that kind of soured the night, because for starters, if I wanted to talk to someone at my table, for example, I would have to yell at like the top of my lungs just for them to like maybe hear it. So that was obviously a little like quite annoying. So eventually I kind of just stopped trying to talk, because like it was gonna be like a gamble whether like the audience heard me anyways. And like even still, I remember like one of my table mates, he went up to the DJ that was playing the music. It's like if the DJ could like turn down the bass boosting at least. So apparently the DJ was like, oh, I'll see what I can do. But I honestly don't think I'm being completely for real. I don't think they did anything, because a little bit later, like after dinner at least, but at least after dinner and before the dance, they played like a little like montage of like events that happened throughout the year, or throughout like the 2 years, I guess, because that's when we were like pretty much officially considered as seniors. Actually, no. It was only from my grade 12 year. So yeah, either way, they played a little montage of like events that happened during grade 12. So like things that happened in class, or like candid shots, or like silly photos, and that kind of thing. And I remember that was so loud. They were playing like fairly standard like pop music, but that shit was like bass boosted to the max. Oh shit, what the heck did I just do? But and honestly, it got to a point where it's comedic. Like there would be like a really low note or something, and it would just be like boom, and that was it honestly became like comedic at that point. So some of my friends, they were talking like, oh, this is like I give this event 5 big booms or something like that, and that shit was funny. And after, I guess during the dance itself, there was like, okay, well, honestly, I think at that point I was kind of used to the bass boosting at that point. So I went to go dance with my friends, and then what's it called? At some point, like fairly early on during the dancing, some kid from like who knows where goes onto like their friend's shoulders or something. And at that point, the supervising teachers, they go up to the DJ after like tells them to turn off the I have to ultra a little bit later there. They go to the DJ and essentially pull the music and turn on the lights again. And so they gave us like a really stern warning. I was like the next time I see someone going on like someone else's shoulders, it's like no more dancing for everyone. So that was a little bit interesting to have witnessed. I think aside from that, that was like fairly standard. Oh yeah, I think somebody also vomited apparently, which is a little bit gross. I'm not gonna lie, especially considering that there's there's so many people in wearing dressy fancy clothes and that kind of thing. So that was a little bit nasty to hear about. Oh, speaking of like fancy dress clothes and that kind of thing, you know how like during like these kinds of events, it was essentially everyone's time to show off in terms of dress, right? So like all of the guys, including me, were wearing like tuxes and that kind of thing, and after all the girls would be wearing like super fancy puffy dresses. After everyone's essentially like dripped out to the max, for lack of a better word. I think like as a guy, it's much easier to move around in those dresses. Like for example, I would see like my female friends, they would have to like whenever like walking upstairs, for example, they would have to like lift up their their dresses by a little bit just to make sure like they don't get stepped on. And speaking of like having your dresses stepped on, it is super easy for me as a guy to like accidentally step on on girls' dresses, and that was honestly one of the most like scary things about the night, to be honest, because I don't know if if you guys are familiar with it, but like those dresses are stupid expensive, and they're also like super nice as well, right? So I was kind of joking to my friend. I was like, it's like Minesweeper in real life, because if I essentially touch it, I'm like I quite literally get killed. So, and like even though I was like I deliberately looked down throughout like the whole night and whatever, I still stepped on like so many people's dresses, and I felt so bad, because I'd be like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, because not only like do I essentially die, it's also a super crazy tripping hazard. Like especially if you're around like, for example, like a water stand or other people, or like a food table. Like, if you trip into any of those three things, you're basically done for. Like, not only is it super embarrassing for both parties involved, it's also like really dangerous as well. So that was a little bit of a crazy thing to have experienced, to be honest with you. After aside from that though, it was like pretty standard, as I said already. Oh, another thing that happened that night was like there's a special thing called dry grad. Essentially, it's like after the so-called prom thing, it's like everyone is able to like change out into like casual clothes, and we were able to like I don't want to say frolic because that makes it sound like farm animals, but like we were able to like hang out around like the neighboring venue and convention center. So there's a if I remember correctly, there's like stuff like go-karting. There's like a merry-go-round with like carnival games and that kind of thing. I remember like one of my friends seeing like one of my friends playing like whack-a-mole, I think, and also like winning prizes and that kind of, and like candy and even like things like AirPods and other kind of electronics, which honestly I thought was kind of crazy. But that stayed up until stayed between like 11 p.m. and 4 a.m., which I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't feeling ready to pull an all-nighter. Like, I would prefer to do that like for something else aside from like a simple grad event. So I think so like as a result of me not wanting to like stay up past 4 a.m., I chose not to go. And honestly, I initially thought that I was gonna go because I didn't actually know that dry grad and the prom were two separate events. I thought it's like once I buy my tickets, once I bought my ticket, I would get access to both the dinner dance, or prom as people call it, and the dry grad itself. So I was honestly surprised by that, and I was a little bit bummed to begin with. But then I thought about it more and realized like I don't want to be driving at 4 a.m. and neither do my parents. I was like, honestly, it's not too bad of a decision to just say no to the dry grad after just head home early for the night. So I'm honestly not too sad that I missed it, to be honest. Even though I'm sure I would have had a lot of fun, like hanging out with my friends and just playing carnival games, until until the sun came up, essentially. But either way, I still had fun, and honestly, I think it would have been better for me because, essentially how the dry guy worked is it's like after the prom ended, the people who were going to be attending dry grad would be they would have to change into their change out their formal clothes and dress into casual clothes so they could play the carnival games or whatever. And it's also more comfortable to wear casual clothes, obviously. But they essentially, after they changed, they stowed their formal clothes into bags and whatever, and those bags were essentially bussed back to my school separately. And from what some of my friends have told me, it was actually a whole kind of nasty situation where it was essentially luggage purgatory, for a lack of a better word. Hold on, let me focus a little bit. Whoops. Yeah, so it was essentially purgatory for some of my friends because the dry grad event ended at 4 a.m. but then some of my friends were stuck at school looking for their bags until past 6 a.m. So that means they essentially pulled an all-nighter, and they were telling me how shit they felt and whatever. So I guess more of the story is all-nighters not as fun as they seem. So that's honestly a good thing for me to take away, especially as I head into a university where there's a whole bunch of like club events and that kind of like party kind of atmosphere and all that kind of fun jazz. So I think that's like it for most of my events currently. So I figured I'll just talk about this map a little bit more then, I guess. So, as you can see here, I'm getting my butt kicked by this room for whatever reason. I don't remember. Like, I remember me loving these rooms, but I don't remember, like, me struggling in them too much, even though I was, like, still intermediate. Like, all I had to learn was, like, how to do ultras and string cancels and bunny hops. But aside from that, it wasn't too bad, I don't think. Like, it definitely helped me become a better player. But if I became a better player, I certainly wouldn't be getting my butt kicked by these rooms. Like, I've died at the end. Like these fish supers, for example. They're just, it's like the same thing as normal supers, but it's like, for whatever, yeah, okay. Like, I don't even know what happened at that death there. But yeah, you could probably tell I'm getting a little bit tilted. But I don't know. I feel like some people, they have like, watching people get tilted while playing video games is can I not do a myth dash there? Yeah, like some people getting tilted, I assume that's like fun for them to watch, and I respect that. But me personally, I do like honestly, I think my favorite content comes from like creators who are more chill, and in terms of like their demeanor and that kind of thing. So I kind of want to be like someone like that, right? So for example, in terms of Celeste content at least, one big like inspiration for me at least is his channel is Indie Chris. I think they're formerly called Indie Game Chris, but like they also make like Celeste Let's Plays, and they're all like super chill and honestly kind of informative, because sometimes he'll delve into topics like existentialism and like the meaning of like why we do things and that kind of thing, while also just being super entertaining to watch. So essentially, when he does like, in the event that he does get tilted about something, it's like the impact of that is like even more pronounced, because it's not something that he's like really known for, I guess. So I kind of want to be like something like that too. Like that's not to say like watching people get tilted isn't funny. Like I watch like sometimes on Reels, like watching people get tilted is like the funniest shit ever. Oh, nice. And also, I guess on a similar vein to Indie Chris is a different content creator called Bibzuda. Okay, I honestly don't remember this one, so I'm gonna focus a little bit. Whoops. Yeah, so recently I've been getting into Outlast, the horror game franchise, and like while I've never played it, because like if, for example, my parents walked into my room and they saw the contents of that game, they would probably like crucify me or something. Right. And I prefer like to like get my own place at university before I played that game. So, but even still, like this Bibzuda guy that I talk about is like, he's also like fairly equally chill as Indie Chris, and it's like kind of similar, whereas like in the event that he does get tilted, it's like super funny and unexpected, because it's essentially like so out of character, right? That like the impact and the effect of like breaking character is more more pronounced, I guess, is how I put it. Yeah. So, hopefully, like you guys are enjoying my my schizophrenic ranting, I guess. But I don't know. I've seen people like myself enjoy other people talk about what random shit. So I figured it'll be Can I get a better ultra? Like I figured I would shoot my shot at making this kind of content. So hopefully you guys let me know how I'm doing at that, like in that regard, I guess. And like maybe if you guys are enjoying it, I'll turn it into like a little bit of a series where I just play a bunch of like cool maps, and some harder, some easier than this. Like I'm working on I'm actually working on my first like actual hardless map. So hopefully I could have something to show for that at least. But of course I could do like easy maps as well. Like I'm 100% down to play like some like chill, intermediate, beginner, advanced kind of gameplay. Like I think that would be really fun to do. And I actually have some like ideas of like some maps that I could play to essentially show for it. Yeah. So as you can tell, I don't really remember this room all too much. So I'm playing like complete garbage right now. So I apologize. Whoops. Oh, I feel like I could have saved that, to be honest. So, yeah, in the event that I do go quiet, it's just because I'm focusing, and I'll probably try to edit that out as I said already. And like, okay, I feel like, like if you, in case you guys don't know, this map was actually like once my hardest. So, okay, yeah, I needed that that double dash because that bottom part that I could do without dashes. Okay, I do remember there being a stupid wall bounce though, and I think that wall bounce at the end there is the stupid one. So if I die at that wall bounce again, I'm gonna give it a name or something. So like I'm thinking of like the name like, I don't know, Jeremy. I think if I die at Jeremy again, then I'm gonna like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something. Dude. Okay, now I'm just playing like complete crap now. Like, are you serious? Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm not getting through that. Oh. You know, I tried to hit the I know there's like a secret down there, but I guess we're not doing that. Maybe like after I get like I beat the map, I could like make like I could like debug to it and try to beat it there, because that contains, I remember that contains like Grandmaster stuff like whoops, like corner boosted ultras and that kind of thing. And I do want to show off, because I don't think in that one berry room with the jellyfish I actually did any I don't think I did a back boost on any of the on my winning attempt at least. So whoops. So I kind of want to show off a little bit. And okay, I remember this room being very fun though, but it'll be even more fun if I could, whoops, if I could actually get past that part, which I did, but then I died pretty much immediately after. So that's not too fun. Oh yeah, I remember bouncing into that platform's head like a lot. And I think I'm on final already. Hold on, I remember there being a secret here. Oh wait, that was not bad actually. I remember. I remember. Trust. Yeah. Okay, so in case you guys don't know, there's a special button that you could press. Whoops. Yeah, keyboard config. After down here, there's a button called crouch dash, and essentially, normally, like you could see when I'm dashing, or whatever. My sprite is big, right? But then, if I try to do a crouch dash, my hitbox and my sprite as a result get smaller. So that allows me to do fancy shit like what I just did. Let me try to do it again. And like sometimes it is easier to do like, okay, I'll try to, let me see if these spinners are downloadable. They should be at least. Hold on. I want to show off. Yeah. Yeah, so doing a demo dash like that allows you to do some really funky stuff. I think this is final room. So that's fun. Well, I mean, final like mandatory room, I guess. I remember there's a heart. Sorry, there's a berry after the heart. So I want to get that at least. Whoops. Did I say anything about how like awesome the music is? I feel like I did, but it's been a while at this point, so I honestly don't remember. But either way, there's no point in like I'm not gonna say it's a mistake for anything, because this, like, if anything, whoever composed the music, I think their name's like Usias or something like that. They deserve all the praise in the world. Oh yeah, this is that. The downward spam part is like super satisfying to pull off, because like not only is it really easy, but it like looks super cool as well. Seeing like so many inputs happen at at once, I guess. And like it all ties back to like the whole like idea of repeated inputs and movements and that kind of thing, because you're repeatedly spamming down, right? So that like adds a little bit more like, I guess, power to say, like, to put it some way. I also remember this room being like not very hard, except I'm clearly not doing the greatest job of showing it. Come on. It's not hard. But like realistically speaking, if like things like I think like things like spring cancels and ultras, if those were taught in like the advanced lobby or something, I could see this being I could honestly see this map being in there, because aside from that, it's like pretty straightforward stuff I'm gonna be completely doing. Whoops. Whoops. Come on. That time I was too good. Okay, that's a silly death. I shouldn't have died there. Like, like at that part, I just straight up forgot to dash apparently. But it is whatever. I'm having too much fun playing this. Like, it doesn't sound like it, but I'm having a lot of fun playing this. Like, I like Fonda's gameplay is just so fucking smooth. It's like butter. It's so I'm not complaining. Okay, remember to dash after this. Okay, that's just me being silly at that point. I missed the dash crystal. Are you serious? Whoops. I'm pretty sure that's like essentially like the last couple of inputs, because that's essentially like a bird ultra turn into a bunny hop, and after you just like fall into the end. And I don't really think there's anything after that. Like, it's the heart room after there's a bear room beyond the heart. Oh, I thought I could say that, but no. The big block was going to be coming down way too fast at that point. Okay, I made the same mistake again. If anything, it's the Jeremy input. That's the Jeremy input. Come on. I also gotta see how my phone is doing, because essentially I'm using that as my microphone, and if that like runs out of like if that runs out of battery before I'm done with this like playthrough, hold that thought. Yeah, okay, so I beat it, but let me check how my phone battery's doing. Okay, 12%. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, yeah, so that's the heart. And above it, you could see there's the light beams or whatever. So yeah, look at that. This is the true final room. Oops. I guess I have to fast forward there. Oops. Maybe get like insta hyper there. Yeah, that worked. Okay, that was silly. I could have like did that in my first like couple of tries. Maybe I'll be on this try. Who knows? Oh, nope. At that point, I just forgot a wave dash apparently. Okay, that I don't even know what happened there. Like I just. Whoops. Okay, maybe not a reverse. Okay, I did the same like goofy ass tech again. Maybe a reverse hyper could work, but I feel like an insta hyper would be the best. No, okay, I guess not. Okay, I suppose just a normal hyper. Okay, whoops. I think there is just I get a multi-boosted wall bounce, and yeah, multi-boosted wall bounce. And I guess at this beginning part, I don't even have to like do anything. I don't know how to like fast saw or something like that. And then I don't have to do. I could do one last dash. Okay, no, I guess not. Maybe we could try like doing like. Whoops. Okay, that was just me being bad. Maybe we could do like an upwards, like an upwards, maybe down or something. No, okay. Okay, yeah, I could just use all my dashes. Nice. GG. I don't know if you guys saw that at the end there. And let me try doing a hard ultra. Oops. Nice. GG. That was fun. Let me see how many deaths that was. So 271. So honestly, a little bit more than I expected. All right, so my recording ended a little bit abruptly, so I apologize for that. So this has been Clockwork, and I think in total it took like 200 something deaths. I'll put that up on the screen. But this, like, I had a lot of fun making this video. It's been really fun, like revisiting old maps that were once my hardest. So maybe I'll do that with like other maps as well, or honestly, maybe I could do that with like vanilla Celeste as well, like just going back and revisiting that, like essentially where it all began. I think something like that could be really cool. and like talking about this story and how that affected me in like in some case or in any way, really. I think that could be really cool to make. So let me know what you think. Until then, I guess bye bye.